can't take it to 10.
Look, fast. If you got a problem, I'm pulling up. Strap. Big booty bitch and I'm pulling on tracks. I play with them words, I play with them birds. I'm really that. I'm stating facts, 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 facts. When I'm in the kitchen, no water whipping, yeah. I used to trap. I do a brick like Jordan Woods, I cut a zip off. But right before that, make up what I'm serving. Risk go to work and got us some surgery, cut off the fat. I play with them words, I play with them birds, yeah. I'm really that. Clutching the rod when I had a warrant, increasing my bond, was fighting two hands. My new A&R threw me in a cross with a couple of rappers, maneuver through that. My other lip partner on 200 pieces of the pressure I'm on, and I got a new bench. A lot of these niggas be hating on gangsters, but I'm presidential, I'm stating them facts. If you got a problem, I'm pulling up. Strap. Big booty bitch and I'm pulling on tracks. I play with them words, I play with them birds. I'm really that. I'm stating facts, 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 facts. Ooh, these niggas be watching, these women be plotting. I'm stating facts. Ooh, everybody fake nowadays, these niggas be rats. Ooh, I see you in public, you know what up, I ain't giving you down. I'm stating facts, 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 facts. Can't fly, dresser, seal, hater, side step on bitch, bed, body, sexy, private jet, jury, heavy, send it, you better be careful. I know how to get through the metal detector. My money a slam on a bitch, nigga fallin'. You guessing, I guess you ain't knowing no better. I'm flexing, I ain't really showing no cheddar. I take a little flick with a chick, I ain't throwing no dick, and they thinkin' we going together. I'm overseas on a trip, not an internet nigga, just let them be hoes together. I'm a big speaker, you know I'm the reverend. Preach to the streets and we got it for cheap. All this ice in my teeth and I gold the bells. I'm stating them facts. 8 quarter tickets I spent on my ditch every time I redid it 2 million in racks. I done fell off and I ran it back up in a matter of months. Now I'm coolin', what's that? You ask me for money, act like I don't got it, and then post a picture of me when I'm shopping, controlling big money. I got it in my pocket, I stand on your shit, you pretend I don't got it. Facts. If you got a problem, I'm pulling up. Strap. Big booty bitch and I'm pulling on tracks. I play with them words, I play with them birds. I'm really that. I'm stating facts, 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 facts. Ooh, these niggas be watching, these women be plotting. I'm stating facts. Ooh, everybody fake nowadays, these niggas be rats. Ooh, I see you in public, you know what up, I ain't giving you down. Ooh, I'm stating facts, 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 facts. Camouflage dresser, seal, hater, side step on bitch. Camouflage dresser, seal, hater, side step on bitch. Camouflage dresser, seal.
Hey, yo, TGIFRIYay, you guys. Who's ready for some freaky Friyay factoids? I found some goodies for you guys this week. I have really researched. We're going to be random with a capital R today. And I mean, we're going to be all over the place. So let's dive right in. How many of you have ever wondered what outer space smells like? So, former astronauts have been asked to describe the smell of outer space, and they have all agreed that it does have a lingering scent that stays on their spacesuits. And they said, they described it as either a burning metal or a seared steak. Now, I love steak, but I don't want to smell like my food. In fact, there are certain restaurants I will not go in because I don't want to smell like that food. For instance, I love Mexican food. Love it. Hola, I love it. Hello, I love it. But if I can't go pick it up or have it delivered and I can't sit on the patio, you know, where there's ventilation, I don't want to smell like an empanada. I just don't. But did you know that Dr. Seuss's name is not actually Dr. Seuss? He was born Theodore Seuss Geisel, Geisel. But Seuss, as everyone says it, is pronounced Seuss, like voice. So he was born Theodore Seuss Geisel. But because pronunciation was, everybody pronounced it wrong, he's forever known as Dr. Seuss. You know what? There's another study that was done. And this study was done on children in the United Kingdom. And it was about the inquisitive minds of children. And the average child during the study in the UK, the average child asked an average of 300 questions per day, which breaks down to one question every 2.5 minutes. because the little mind's always working. And what the study also showed is that most of these children went to their mothers for the answers to their questions. The most often asked question and the hottest questions that they asked their mums there were two questions that kept coming up that mums were just like. And the first was, why is water wet? Why is water wet? And the second was, what are shadows made of? What are shadows made of? And the moms are sitting there like, kids, I love kids. They're so funny. They're always thinking. They're very random. Like others I know. Guess what else kids love? Kids love Pringles. They do. They love them. Do you know what Pringles are? You might think they're potato chips, but they're not. So potato chips are actually slices of potato that have been fried and seasoned and hardened to be the chip. Pringles are actually not slices of potatoes. They are the dried potato flakes that have been compressed into a parabolic shape. All right? Because they're the flakes and not the actual, slices of potato, they don't have as much grease. So that's why you don't get the greasy fingers from Pringles. However, when Pringles first came out, potato chip makers were not liking the popularity of them. And they went to the FDA and said, that's false advertising. They're not potato chips. They're not even chips. They're flakes. So the FDA said, true, they made them change it. So now Pringles are potato crisps. If you look at the box or the canister of Pringles, you see no mention of chips on there whatsoever because they're not technically chips. The potato, but they're not chips. The potato flakes that are compressed. So they're potato crisps. True story. Yes. The FDA has a great way of governing things. Let me tell you what the FDA thinks is also okay. Do you guys like vanilla? Like the scent or the flavor? I used to love vanilla. Like ice cream, like vanilla was my favorite. I like the smell of vanilla. But guess what? Guess what some of that vanilla comes from? So for years now, a substance known as castoreum, per National Geographic, has been used to help scent and flavor vanilla things. And what is castoreum, you ask? Castoreum is what is excreted from the butt of beavers when they're marking their territory. It's basically a goo out their butts that helps flavor things vanilla. The FDA says it's not harmful, you can use it. Even though it's hard to find, you can use it. And we've been using it for years to flavor our vanilla. So the next time you're going to Dairy Queen to get your vanilla cone, just ask for a beaver butt goo cone. Beavers are a very good segue into our next random factoid. You guys know about my bunny outside, my psychotic bunny. It comes up to my deck and tortures my dogs, especially Tiny Elvis. It just sits there and stares at her. And it looks like it would charge her at any second. And I have said since I saw it that it's psychotic. And people have said, oh, it's not psychotic. It's a bunny. What's it going to do to you? It's not going to do anything to you or your dogs. Here's my thing. You don't know. You haven't seen this bunny. You've seen a picture of it. It's very scary. I'm not the only one that's felt this way about bunnies, though. However, a very famous person was attacked by them. Let me tell you the story. Napoleon Bonaparte, the French emperor that was trying to take over the world, or at least Europe. Little short guy. Napoleon syndrome, named after him. Remember him? Yeah. Well, he and his armies had just won a battle, and they wanted to celebrate. So he goes to his chief of staff and says, let's have a party. So the chief of staff is like, yeah, that's a good idea. These guys need to pick me up, They need to celebrate this, and I know what we can do. Let's have a rabbit hunt. Let's let the guys kick back, relax, drink a few beers, wine, whatever, and then go hunt these rabbits. So the chief of staff has a bunch of rabbits, over 1,000 rabbits brought in. And when he lets them loose so that the soldiers can go hunt the rabbits in the drunken stupor, the rabbits don't scamper off on the little paws there. That's not what they do. They turn around and they charge at the French army and Napoleon. It freaked them out. It was so psychotic, so crazy. It freaked them all out. Napoleon is screaming and shooing them away, and they're coming at him full force like a total assault at this point. And Napoleon has to run and get in his carriage. So you guys can downplay my psychotic bunny all you want, but history has shown that rabbits will not go gently into that good night. So maybe you should watch your backs. I'm just saying. Speaking of rabbits, you know the little groundhog? Well, I guess it was a gopher on Caddyshack. Remember, it drove Bill Murray crazy. He was like the groundskeeper on the original Caddyshack movie. Well, Bill Murray's a funny guy, and he was perfect for that movie. Perfect. When he found the baby Ruth in the swimming pool. Yeah. But everybody thought it was a turd or whatever. Maybe it was Beaver Butt Goo. Maybe it was Castorium. Anyway, what I'm trying to get to here is Bill Murray. So Bill Murray doesn't have an agent or a manager like most Hollywood people do. He doesn't. He instead has a 1-800 number that producers, directors, whatever, ought to call if they want him for a part. So this is a true story that a certain Hollywood producer is trying to get in touch with Bill Murray, and all he has is this 1-800 number. And he's called for several weeks and left several messages with no response. So he starts to worry. He hasn't seen Bill Murray on sets anywhere. He doesn't, hasn't seen or heard of him. So he's like, I know, I've got his attorney's number. I'll call his attorney. So this producer calls Bill Murray's attorney, and he says, yo, I've been trying to get in touch with Bill about this part, and I've left him several messages with no response. Is something going on? Is he okay? Something I need to know? Is he involved with another movie, or is he in a contract? And the lawyer says, what number do you have? What number are you calling? And the producer's like, I have the 1-800 number. And the lawyer says, yeah, that's the one I got. Funny story. But it's true. That's the only number he has. And so the lawyer ends up getting in touch with Bill Murray. Bill Murray calls the guy back, is in the movie. But maybe Bill Murray, that money that he's not spending on an agent or, a manager, he could spend on a secretary or somebody just to call people back. Maybe he just doesn't need the money. He's eccentric. Or maybe Bill Murray was in the hospital with kidney stones. Did you know that several people over a span of years who had kidney stones that traveled or visited Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, and rode the Big Thunder Mountain Railway roller coaster, ended up passing the stones after or on the roller coaster? So because of this, the University of Michigan State University decides they're going to do another study. And they make a model kidney and put stones in it. And they take it to Disney World and they put it on one of these cars, these roller coaster cars. And, they put it on two. Okay. They put this model kidney on the front car of the roller coaster and on the rear car. So the front and the rear. And the front car passed the stone 16% of the time. Okay? In the tries they did there. While the rear roller coaster seat, the kidney passed the stone 64% of the time. So if you ever need to pass a stone, go to Disney World, hop on that roller coaster, the Big Thunder Mountain and sit on the back row and you're good to go. Or just go to the doctor. But who knew that? Another study. So random. Try as I might, I have tried to find a segue into this one, and I have failed. This final factoid. But we have been all over the world today. We were in space. We were in Disney World. We were even in Hollywood there for a little bit. So let's end our day in Scotland. Because the Scottish have made me feel so much better, and I want to share this with you. Because I know this has happened. If you tell the truth, if you're telling the truth, I know that this has happened to you before. And it happens to me more than probably the average person. But the Scottish laugh it off and have a very good comical attitude about it. Whereas we Americans would probably feel belittled or rude. What am I talking about, you ask? I'm glad you asked. So you're walking down the street with your best friend, Becky. Okay? And you guys are shopping, window shopping, whatever. And you see coming towards you an acquaintance of yours, not Becky's. It's yours. It's a new guy at work. Okay? And you guys make eye contact. And he's like, hey, Angelina. And you're like, hey. And he comes up to you and Becky, and he says, how you doing? What are you doing here? And you're like, oh, we're just doing some window shopping. Oh, let me introduce this is my best friend, Becky. Becky, this is... You've done it, right? And he's like, Todd. My name is Todd. And you're like, Todd! He's the new guy at work. But you feel like, oh my God, I just belittled him, and now he doesn't even feel important enough for me to know his name. Then you feel rude. You're just like, oh, like he's going to think I'm a stuck-up bitch or whatever. And really, it's just you are so ready to introduce your friend that you know, and the name is readily available because you've known them so long and you have this relationship, and you momentarily get a lapse in your brain, a hesitation, and any which way you color it, it's awkward. Well, apparently it happens in Scotland all the time because the Scottish have a term for it. And they will just say, oh, pardon my tartle. 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 Toddle. I don't have a really good Scottish brogue. But when I was reading about this, I was like, well, thank God. Here it's just really awkward, like crickets. Like, those Scottish people are wild anyway, They just laugh it off. I mean, they got a lot of stuff to laugh about there in Scotland. Really, if you think about it. Like, they've got... All right, so our national bird, a symbol of freedom, is the bald eagle. The American bald eagle, right? Their national animal is the unicorn. They've also had this prehistoric dinosaur-looking thing, the Loch Ness Monster, there in Lake Nessie, or they call it Nessie. It's in the loch, which is a lake in English. And there's supposedly this dinosaur that's been around for thousands of years, and it just disappears, even from sonar. All these people in their little sonar submarines going to find Nessie, and she's just nowhere to be seen. I have a theory. Just hear me out. I have a theory on what Nessie actually is. Or actually, who Nessie is. I think that there is a family, a clan, or maybe more than one clan, who lived off of the lake. Like, they got their food there. It was very vital to their clans. And they didn't want anybody else infringing on that. And I think they created something that looked scary to scare people away. And I think that, like on Jaws, when those two little Fauntleroy Finkelstein-looking boys, adolescent boys, made the cardboard fin, and they were swimming around and scaring the crap out of everybody and causing a public riot, pretending like they were the Great White. Well, that could very easily be happening there in Scotland. And, when the sonar goes down there to find them, Ewan McGregor and Ronald McDonald run up the Highlands in their kilts, not to be seen again until someone's coming to infringe on their property. I'm just saying, why can't they find her? Why can't they find Nessie? How come she's lived this long? It's a family tradition. Let's scare the shit out of all the tourists and let's scare people away from here so we can live off this land. And plus we can laugh our asses off at these people that are falling all over themselves to see a little fake, whatever it's made out of. That's what I think. But who knows? I mean, if they have a unicorn there as the national animal. So anyway, that were my random freaky Friyay factoids. And they were indeed very freaky on some levels. The beaver goo. The questions. Why is water wet? Kids. There's so much out there in the world. You just got to look for it. But if you don't feel like it, I'll have more next week. You guys have a good weekend. Don't order vanilla wherever you go. Or do, if you like goo. Dr. Seuss said to. Bye.